Welcome to the Gracious Woman Podcast. Marriage is a lifetime commitment to God and not to the person. Here, we encourage each other to be the women that God meant us to be, and whatever He does is besides the point. Today, we're talking about in-laws, respect, honor, forgiveness. So the greatest commandment is honor your mother and honor your father. How do we do this in a unit? How do we do this in a marriage? Because in-laws are a big deal in our relationships, especially if you're African, especially, if you're where I'm from, there is a plethora of ways and topics and, issues when it comes to in-laws. Now, individually, we are to honor our parents, and it is the only commandment that comes with a promise. Honor your mother, honor your father, so that your days may be long. So you are two people coming together to become one unit, and now all of a sudden you have four parents. It's not just two. It's not just your own. It's your partner. Parents you have to respect now. When women get married, they do not want their husband to be too close to their mom anymore. We've even given them a name, Mommy's Boy. We have to honor our husband's parents. And I feel like this is where most of us women are lacking. So we want to encourage each other to honor both parents. Honor both parents, my parents and his parents. I'm gonna keep repeating this. We have to honor our in-laws. Yes, I know that our in-laws are not just mother and father. There's brother involved, there's sister involved, there's auntie involved, there's a whole bunch of people involved. But listen, we are married to the vision that God wants us to be as gracious women in our relationships. We have to bridge the gap. We have to honor his parents. We have to honor his family. It doesn't mean that they should be involved in our issues. It doesn't mean that they have to set the tone or make the rules in our relationship. I think most of us, that's what we don't want. We don't want the family to control what's happening in our homes. But this is where wisdom comes into play. We want to honor our in-laws. Regardless, I used to work in a nursing home early on. I think I was maybe 2021. It really broke my heart to see the amount of older people in the nursing homes without care. We have to take care of our parents because when we were young, they were responsible for us. And most of our parents, they labored a lot of our parents left their country to go to Western countries so we could actually have a better life. So what would it take out of you to worry and fuss over his mother, the dreaded mother-in-law? I know some mother-in-laws are wicked. I'm gonna say it. They're wicked, they're mean, and they have just no respect. But this is where we as gracious women, we have to encourage each other in this area. I watched my mom take care of her mother-in-law until she died. Regardless of the family drama that happened, she took care of her. And so that's what I aspire to be. That's what I aspire to do. A lot of our mother-in-laws, they're at home in Africa or whatever, and we're in the diaspora. What is it gonna kill you to send an extra $1? Just to say, hey mom, here you go. Go and buy yourself that thing you love. It's not gonna kill you. Again, honor your mother and father, Exodus 20:12. This is the only commandment that comes with a promise. You might say, hey, I'm not a Christian, or hey, I don't follow biblical principles, but listen, we are here to encourage each other to be the women that God wants us to be. The strong women, the wise women, the virtuous women. Let's use Naomi and Ruth as an example. Ruth was not a Jew. She actually didn't believe in God. She was married, though, to a Jew. And her husband died. And her children died as well. instead of just saying, oh my God, I'm gonna go, I'm just gonna start my life over, she decided to be loyal to her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law was like leaving the country where she was living, and she was going back to Bethlehem. And Naomi didn't know this land, she didn't know this people, she didn't know this God, but she followed her mother-in-law. Loyalty, forgiveness. At a time, Ruth was so angered and bittered that she changed her name to Mara. Mara means bitterness. So through her pain, she was able to forgive. And when she forgave, she followed Naomi to her home. What happened? When she got there, she was working. She was working for Naomi. And what they used to do, because both of them were widows, they would go and glean in the field. So gleaning means they would go and harvest whatever was left in the field. That's how they survived. And she was loyal and she was faithful and she stuck to her mother-in-law. What happened? Boaz came along. I'm pretty sure a lot of us know about this love story. Boaz was this rich man. You know, he had lands, he had stuff, and her mother-in-law gave her a little trick to go and seek favor in the eyes of Boaz. And Ruth did that. And before we know it, Ruth was married. Now, Ruth is actually part of the lineage of Jesus. What I find very unique and amazing about that story is she could have chosen to just say, forget about this. I'm gonna go and just start my life anew. But it is because of her heart of forgiveness, the ability to let go of pain, she was able to allow healing to come within her heart. And that honor she gave her mother-in-law is what opened this door to prosperity. So what's your situation like? What's your relationship like with your in-laws? You have to honor them. There's just no two ways about it. If you want to be a gracious woman, you have to honor your in-laws. Okay, my dear, so you want to seek unity with your spouse. Follow what your spouse is wanting to do. Is he a part of his family? If he's not a part of his family, you want to encourage him to be a part of his family. You want to encourage him to honor his mother, honor his father. You don't want to be the reason why your husband is distanced from his family. You always want to be that person that always provides a mutual ground between him and his family. When I got married to my husband, I just didn't get married to him. I got married to his whole family. This is the African way. It's not just him, it's everybody. So it's my responsibility to be the mediator between, for example, him and his brother or him and his mother. There should never be a time where your husband is fighting with any of his family members and you're joining him in this fight. Yes, I know, sometimes it's unfair. Sometimes they are being unreasonable, but you want to be that person that's going to bring peace into the family. You have to lead by example. Let people know how to deal with themselves. Let people know what family love is through you. You be that distributor of love. This is how you're going to share the gospel. This is how you're going to be that gracious woman where people are going to learn. Another thing I've been hearing is, well, why do I always have to worry about him? Well, that's what being a wife is about. It's about being a helper. We are in our husband's lives to help him to live life harmoniously and abundantly. And when we want our relationships and our homes to thrive, this is absolutely, to me, the best way to do that. When we honor our mothers and when we honor our fathers, our days will be long. Our relationships will be long. So I will see you next time.